G'day and welcome to this week's FriBaT Friday Beers and Tools with Andy. We've got a special beer today from my friends at Spinifex Brewing. How many beers have I had? None yet, but looking forward to this one. Spinifex have been a big supporter of GRAYZBILDZ pretty much for a long time now, and they've sent me a couple of their new range, and so I'm very keen to try. This week we have the Spinifex Sunset Ale, Cable Beach Sunset Ale. So Cable Beach, for those especially overseas that aren't aware, Cable Beach is an absolutely stunning beach in the north of Western Australia in a town called Brewing, and it is just a spectacular place, and that's where Spinifex are brewed. And Adam, their CEO, has just let me know that they're actually building a pub slash brewery up there. So I can't wait to go and visit that, because Brewing is a spectacular spot and really, really nice in a Tassie winter to get away to. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about the beer. The tasting notes for the Cable Beach Sunset Ale says it's a Kimberley-inspired malt-driven ale celebrating our connection to Brewing, Western Australia. Full of flavour with a very pleasant bittering and light fruitiness from the hops. This ale is a very sessionable beer with an ABV of 4.2%. Well, let's try it out. Happy Friday. Oh yeah, sessionable ale. There is no doubt about that. Wow, Adam, that's terrific. Hint of bitterness, but light on the bitterness. It's actually very nice. Does have quite good malt overtones as well. Yeah, I like that. Light fruitiness. Yeah, I guess because I drink a fair bit of pale ales and things like that, it's lighter on the fruit than a lot of those, which is actually not a bad thing. It's a more traditional ale as far as I'm concerned. Full of flavour. Actually, I can picture myself kicking back, sitting on the back of my four-wheel drive on Cable Beach at sunset drinking this. So Spinifex, you've done it again. Brilliant job. Not just because you've sent it to me, but that's a 5 out of 5 spinners for me. That is awesome. Oh, yeah. Now, Spinifex is not available all around Australia yet. They are building their stockists quite quickly, and you can buy it on Amazon. So I'll put a link down in the description below. I haven't double checked to see whether the Sunset Ale is on Amazon yet. Stand by. So a quick check of Amazon tells me that the Cable Beach Sunset Ale is in fact available on Amazon. So I'll put a link in the description below. So if you're somewhere remote or somewhere where Spinifex aren't currently stocking in your state, give it a go from Amazon. Yeah, I like it. Okay, this week we have another tool from Amazon. A little bit of background as to why I bought this tool for starters. Those of you might be aware, I bought my wife a second-hand Mercedes-Benz CLA 200 for her birthday. And one thing that I'm certainly not used to, only ever owning pretty much Australian and Japanese cars, a lot of European cars don't come with a spare wheel. Originally, her Mercedes came with run-flat tyres. Not a real big fan of run-flat tyres, but I guess they kind of work. Now in Australia, we travel some pretty long distances and remote areas, plus the fact that her Mercedes has actually had some aftermarket wheels and tyres put on, some very nice 19-inch wheels. I'll put a picture up here somewhere. And of course, they're not run flats. So that leaves me with a bit of an issue when we're traveling. We have no spare tyre, and if you were to get a flat tyre, hopefully you wouldn't damage it, but which is very easy to do with 19-inch and very tiny side profile tyres. But I decided that the car needed to have a compressor and probably some tyre gel to put inside the tyre, hopefully to get you to the next town and get it fixed. So I found a combination on Amazon of a 12-volt multi-function wireless air compressor with jump starter. A wireless air compressor. It's not a hoseless air compressor because that wouldn't work. This is a very compact little unit. I actually saw another YouTuber using something very similar. What this is a combination of a jump starter lithium battery pack, but also a small compressor inside it as well. So it has the usual jump starter leads, which is handy, but it also comes with a fairly short, but you don't need very long because you've got it sitting beside the tyre hose, and the Schrader valve connection is actually built into the end, so that's kind of handy, and it just screws onto the bottom of the compressor here. They're not the fastest thing in the world, but hey, look, when we're talking about a battery and compressor here, and you're on the side of the road, that you can afford to take a little bit of time. So what my plan is, and I believe a lot of vehicles now actually come with a small compressor and some tyre goo to go inside the tyre to plug up a hole, is you put the goo in and then you hook up your little compressor, and like I said, it's to get you to the next town. It's fairly noisy. It's got a little on-off switch on the side here. That's enough of that. And it pumps out a good amount of air for its size and for its compactness. Let's talk a little bit about its specs. It weighs 1.5 kilograms, and it, as I mentioned, it does have the jumper leads so that you can start up to 800 cranking amps. It has a 57 milliamp hour battery, so you could run a fridge or charge a phone or whatever. It does come with a USB, of course, USB, micro USB. Why don't manufacturers use USB-C? It's such a much better plug. I've had that rant before. This is also for charging at home or from your vehicle from a USB connection. The inflation function, built-in battery and high power compressor provide a maximum of 85 psi. That's impressive, even without external power cord, to inflate and obviously to give you a bit of an average. For example, a 205 55 16-inch tyre from 0 psi to 35 psi within 4 minutes. That's actually pretty impressive. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. In addition, it's also suitable for inflation of other items such as balls, motorcycle tyres, blow-up beds, etc. It does come with a little selection of a ball needle and a couple of cone attachments for the end. With the LCD display on the front, you can actually select between PSI, KPA and kilogram per square centimetre. The compressor will automatically shut down. Okay, once you've turned it on, to switch between PSI or KPA or kilograms per square centimetre, you press and hold the mode button and it will change up the top here. It's a little bit hard to show you on the screen there. And once you've set the desired pressure, you press the mode button again and the compressor starts and will shut off once it reaches that selected inflation amount. The compressor will stop itself in 10 minutes to prevent the overheating of the compressor, and that will also protect it. Power supply function, as I mentioned, it's a capacity up to 150,000 milliamps with a power of 57 milliamp hour. It has a light, I'll hold it on obviously. It has a light, it's very bright, which has multiple functions, has a flashing emergency SOS function, a very rapid flashing to give people epilepsy, won't turn that one on for very long, and off. So 3 functions. So what's it worth? Well, currently on Amazon Australia, this retails for $159, which is quite reasonable compared to even just a plug-in compressor for doing tyres. Yes, you can buy really cheap little cheap versions that will do that. However, for the fact that it's a jump starter as well as a compressor and has multiple functions, I think it's a really handy little bit of kit. At $159, let's talk value for money. It's not the cheapest one out there. Yes, you can buy a cheaper compressor, but I kind of like the fact that it has the multifunction, being able to jump start as well as be a compressor. Oh, hello. Come to visit. Say hello to the viewers. Hello, viewers. Good boy. So, getting back to value for money for the multifunction compressor and inflator and jump starter. Value for money for $159. It's not bad value for me. I probably am swaying towards about a 4 out of 5 beers. For functionality, so far everything appears to be fantastic with it. I will try it on a tyre very soon and probably provide you an update. But for functionality, from what I've seen so far and from the reviews that I've read on Amazon, it's actually a pretty decent unit. Yes, it's a little bit slow, but like I said, when you're stuck in the middle of nowhere with no spare tyre, and this and a bottle of tyre goo is the only thing you've got, look, I think it's pretty good for functionality. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. That's it for this week's FriBaT. Hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of it. Certainly have. I've enjoyed the Spinifex Cable Beach Sunset Ale very much. Good job, Adam. Thank you for sending it to me. See you next week. Have a great week. Got to stop saying That's it for this week's FriBaT. Hope you've enjoyed.